Right, what's happening, people? So I don't know if you've noticed, but we're on episode 16, and if you're watching the YouTube version, I hire out this studio. And if you're able to put two and two together, I still live at home. I still make reels out my scheme back garden where I have to compete with a sectarian man who likes to blare Freddie Mercury and Ratunes through his lockdown log cabin. Also, I have to deal with about 84 dogs barking at each other and a woman who thinks her kid is shitting in the bin and keeps shouting, why is there shit in the bin? So if you put all of that together, you can see that I'm currently making no money from this podcast. So this is just a quick little intro to get you to like the fuck out of the podcast on YouTube. And also, if you're listening on Spotify, just give me a wee 5 stars. No, don't give me a 1 star because I've still got that 1 star sitting there from some bastard that gave me it. But if you can give me a 5-star rating, and I don't need any money, I'm not skint, but if you want to send me £1,000 on PayPal as well, I wouldn't say no. So let's get into the show. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Michael, would you get that present out, please? Where is it? Small enough to be in your pocket? I'm already disappointed. Oh, fuck's sake.
I'll let you explain this one.
I don't need it. That was the whole point.
It's rude. It was rude not to take it. And 6 months later,
so
it's finally with you.
I went over to Michael's house for Christmas, and I'm sitting really gay. You
can never see your dick from here, to be fair.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I need to sort myself out, right? So I went over Michael's for Christmas, and I got given a whole bunch of presents of your girlfriend's family and yourself. And I think I left pretty much everything, didn't I?
You even left this top. This was, I didn't actually mean this, but this is actually yours.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
I know why I left it. I'm kidding.
Just the black top.
Already fucking, who gave me that? Was that your dad?
I think this one was, this one was from my parents. That wallet was from Bobby's mum.
The wallet wasn't a conscious decision to leave that.
But explain, give a bit more detail. Go through what I obviously told you.
Well, what happened when I came back is I literally got given this, probably thought to myself, well, I've already got a wallet. So as soon as you gave me, I forgot it even happened. So about 6 months later, you told me that Bobby and Bobby's mum were really angry at me. And you were like, you'll never guess why. And you were like, because you left that wallet at Christmas. This is 6 months later. But this is how much women care about stuff we don't care about. Because I completely forgot that even happened.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a me and you problem. Like maybe we would think we would think that's okay, but maybe most other people might think that is rude. I don't think it's rude.
I don't think it's rude at all. I already had the wallet.
There is this like assumption though that if
do you expect me to take all my cards out?
You could have just even brought it home.
It's not even. It's not. It's nice. It's my wallet. My wallet's better. What have I got? A wee present, genuine leather. Do you want it?
Probably £1.
Oh, do you need a wallet?
So there you are. I was going to get you a cucumber because I know you love a cucumber.
Yeah, that would have been good.
But
I'd ate that in the podcast though and annoyed the fuck out of everyone.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to intro you because you especially are the worst at explaining who you are. Like the world's worst. I've watched you stutter trying to explain what you do.
Well, let's see if you can do it any better then.
Okay, so today we have the only Northern Irish personal trainer on social media. A guy who used to keep a daily journal about me and how much we weren't aligned. A guy who once done a flat viewing and his reason for not taking the flat was he's allergic to peanuts. The only man I've ever known, with no word of a lie, working as a waiter, took someone's plate away and then took the leftover steak home to make his girlfriend a romantic meal.
That's not true.
It's Mr. Michael Neely.
That's a load of shit.
That is
true. That last
one's
not true. That last one is not true. The first 3 are true. The last one's not true. I brought the steak home for myself. So I did. I did bring a steak home. The steak cost like what? How much was the food out there? It was like $100 for a fucking bit of steak.
That's an exaggeration. It wasn't $100.
It was like one of them. It was like a big Sharon steak. It was like a big. It took like 30 minutes to cook, and it was like a Sharon steak for the whole table. They literally took a slither of steak. Me being very savvy thought that's coming home with me, so I ran into the back, put it in a Tupperware container, put it in my bag, which was in a room that was about 37.4 degrees. and brought it home.
I remember.
And didn't die when he had it.
You put it in the fridge, didn't you?
Yeah.
I remember looking in the fridge going, why
I think you actually tried a bit and you were like, that's nice.
It's just your thought process. You're the only person I would know that would think of doing that.
Well, look, if you see a steak that's hardly been touched and it's been cooked by a very good chef,
it's cause
you bring it home.
You would never spend the money on that steak, wouldn't you?
Absolutely not. $100 for a steak?
Not to cook in the house.
Me and Bobby thought about, so the restaurant that we worked in Australia was like, it was like a top quality restaurant. And me and Bobby thought about going to that place like 4 times, but we never did it because we always looked at the prices before and we're like,
yeah,
nope.
You're paying like, what was it, lobster and all that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it was class.
Right, what is it? Get your phone to fuck. Right, I told Cuba and Aaron to do this. Get that on Do Not Disturb right now. What are your current thoughts on the avalanche of TikTokers on personal trainer wise that are doing if you're looking to lose fat, and they all have
we need to be careful here, no?
Like, why do we need to be careful?
Current thoughts.
We don't need to be careful. We can do whatever we want. They've all got the same accent as you, but slightly squeakier.
Fair play to them all. They're all nice people.
You being gender neutral? Yeah, Jesus. Are you being neutral?
Yeah. No.
You being Switzerland? You're starting to sweat.
Look, I think what's the most PG answer I can kind of give here?
I've called the podcast chat shit.
Yeah, when you first start something, obviously you're gonna, like, we did it as well when we first started. We were looking at what was good,
100%.
Yeah, what's good here, what's getting fucking shit tons of likes, what's going to get me engagement, so that ultimately I can make a bit more cash. So that's probably what they're doing. But see when you hear someone on TikTok now, it's like, if you're looking to lose fat, you should be eating more vegetables. Just when you hear that like one line or whatever, you're just like, Jesus Christ.
I cannot.
So hard to listen to.
I can't hear the word calorie or the term calorie deficit. I can't do it. It makes me cringe so much.
Yeah, totally.
And I think there is a big problem that personal trainers think they've fixed everyone's problems by saying that term, don't they?
Yeah. It's too simplistic. It's a good place to start, but it's massively oversimplified. There's so many other variables that are, you're kind of almost purposely forgetting about because it's not sexy. You know what I mean? So it's helpful in a way because it gives you a starting point, but it's not, ultimately it's a lot more nuanced than that.
Get that mic a wee bit closer to you as well. I think as well, it doesn't actually help anyone. I've came to that conclusion as well. It really doesn't help anyone because we both at the start, you still talk about fat loss more than me, but I would have hammered fat loss at the start. Even I found when all my content was pretty much just saying the words calorie deficit and stuff because that's all I knew basically. That's basically all I knew.
Yeah.
I found that the people that I was attracting literally would only take, I need to eat less calories. They wouldn't change anything about their diet at all. Yeah. So all they would do is take it literally as calorie deficit and consume less calories. Yeah. But not change my diet remotely.
Yeah. There's no manipulation of what you're doing.
And when you make short form content and all the only thing you say is calorie deficit, it makes sense. But
you can understand why people are doing it as well, because the alternative to that is not one bit sexy. You know what I mean? It's not sexy to go into the details of like, certain, different aspects of things. And it's just easy to be like, here's 3 tips if you're in a calorie deficit and you're struggling. Number 1, eat more vegetables. Number 2, get your steps in. That's going to make it easy. So it is. Number 3, follow me for more fucking fitness tips, you wee cunt.
I can't. I actually can't deal with it anymore. It's the exact same format over and over again. And everyone's just like, it's like a pyramid scheme, I think.
It's an algorithm that it suits the algorithm perfectly.
But I don't think it does anymore because I think now there's so many people doing it.
It definitely still does. You see it all the time. You're like, how the fuck has that video got
not like
11 million views? Like, how?
A lot of the people that are starting to do it though, they're not like got loads of followers.
Do you notice though these days that Instagram's obviously different, but on TikTok your views are a lot more consistent now than they were before. Way before you'd maybe get like a video that got 1,800 views and then your very next video would have like 2 million views or whatever.
I think that's just competition.
Think so? More saturated now?
In terms of fitness, yeah. Yeah. Definitely would say it's just competition. Yeah. Like when I first went on there was, I could count on like my 2 hands how many like fitness content people I knew. Yeah. There was me, Sean, Tyler, then Aaron, then the first guy I ever seen do it was Max Meals.
Yeah. Who's a golfer now, by the way?
Is he? I thought he went in.
He's uploading golf TikToks.
He's just can't settle down.
He's lost the plot. To me, that strikes. I've lost the plot. Hopefully, he doesn't listen to this. But you go from making food recipes to uploading fucking.
Yeah, but he
golf.
Already went from gym content to food recipes, and now he's a golfer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's moving to Kenya soon.
He'll be a photographer next week.
Yeah. So I could count, like, you could literally see everyone. That Aussie, what you called him?
Aussie Rules. Shout out Aussie Rules.
Called Aussie Fitness. It's quite big. And Michael called him Aussie Rules earlier, which is a sport in Australia. But I knew exactly who he was talking about as well straight away.
Yeah.
So I think it is. I think it's a saturation thing as well.
Totally, yeah. But you can understand why people are doing it, but it was always going to be frustrating. But look, it's on to us just to evolve what we're doing a wee bit more as well.
I literally get comments now saying, why is there so many Irish people making the same fitness
I've been
content?
tagged in about 3 videos in 2 weeks of some comedian being like, why is there so many people on Instagram now saying calorie and like the best Northern Irish accent you're calorie deficit. There literally is a good between Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland. There's at least like 30 or 40, like with probably over like 50k followers on Instagram. I would say.
Do you think that amount?
Yeah.
What, I thought you were going to say
maybe it is our fault. Maybe not me. I'm not going to blow smoke up my ass, but maybe it is like. It's like the ultimate compliment for someone like Sean that maybe did so well initially with what he was trying to do that like tons of people from here have just thought, right, that's what
I would
works.
say Sean was, I can't remember any other, there was no Northern Irish people doing what Sean was doing, not on TikTok anyway. Because
that I remember
short form content, and when I say short form, I mean like TikTok Reels. It's only been about for two years.
Yeah, crazy. Reels are only banging maybe, a year?
Reels came out when about a month into me starting this as a job.
Yeah.
I remember them coming out, and then I made like 2, and my mate was like, if you're going to make Reels, you have to make TikToks.
Do you ever get tempted at all to be like, do you ever wake up one morning, have your Rice Krispies and think, today's the day. It's 3 tips fat loss day. Do you never?
I'd throw myself in the Clyde. I've done those videos though. I've done them 2 years ago.
Yeah,
loads of them every day.
So well though. Like
I reckon I've done like 400 tips for fat loss.
Like honestly, fair play to you for not wanting to do like to continue and do that, because like they used to blow up. Like every video for you was like 60, 70, 80,000 views. Like it wasn't it at one stage? Every single video, tons. Remember, I always used to say to you, how do you get so many comments on your video? They're so engaging, if you know what I mean. So it's obviously, it's a different route you're going down now with the training stuff, but fair play to you for not wanting to do that, still, because obviously the success was there, but like you said, it is just it's almost like sleazy now, isn't it? Did you?
I'm so stubborn as a human as well.
I know.
And so are you though.
Now you're like much worse.
You think?
Yeah, I'm like, you can manipulate me a little bit, but you can't do that with you, I don't think.
Yeah, I've always been told that since I was a kid. I think I'm just like...
That's not a compliment, by the way. You're a freak.
Well, I've done, like, pretty much, if I can explain my personality, it's... See, every bit of advice my dad ever gave me when I was growing up, I'd done the opposite. Literally everything. If I took my dad's advice, I would be miserable, though. I'd be a joiner, and I'd be hammering one nail into the wall, then... doing interludes of hammering myself in the head.
Well, you tried that in Australia. Close enough.
Well, that was, you seen me? I'd have been, that's you off. Funny actually. So remember that? Do you remember the little period I had, the 2 months where I couldn't really get a job?
Yeah.
I done one shift at helping set up the Eminem concert, and it was just me. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember them all, I think. It
was just me and a Colombian guy for an agency, and when I turned up the full shift, the Colombian guy thought I was his boss. So he was asking, and I've never worked on it was like a construction site basically, because we were like setting things up. I had like hard hats and all that on. He was asking me what to do, and I was like trying to type in Colombian on Google Translate that I'm not his boss. And I don't know. He's like, when we get paid? And I'm like, that's a good Colombian, wasn't it?
Very good.
I've absolutely no idea. And then I was meant to do like 4 12-hour shifts in a row. It was like 35 degrees as well. I was fucking nearly dying.
Yeah, you packed it in, didn't you? It was like, what, first or second shift,
I told them the very next day. I texted them 10 minutes before my shift saying I'd swollen glands.
Easy one.
I think I did wake up at like 4 a.m. and I like let out a wee cough. And
How did you finish the, was it a plumber or a joiner, or who was it you were working with?
A painter.
Painter. So how did that finish up?
Mate, he was deaf. I don't know why. He was definitely a pervert for a start. An utter raging pervert. Then,
is that not just like plus 30-year-old Aussie men though? They're all a bit.
Here's a few things that he done. There was we were painting this house just down the road from where we were in St Kilda. It was in like Elwood, the next one down, and the flat was on like a canal. And there was these girls that would run past, and you know the ones in Australia, so there was quite a lot of fit girls running down that beach and stuff. You can't really comment, but I said there was. Anyway, he was like standing out in the balcony whilst I was painting, and he would be shouting like, "Get your tits out" to the girls running by. And he'd be like looking at me like laughing, and I'd be sitting there like just staring at the wall trying to paint and like not make any conversation with him. And like he would take me out for lunch every day, and he would just tell me about his ex-wife all the time. And then one time, we were working on a Friday and we were driving back through. Bear in mind, I worked in hospitality, so I knew so many, and it was a Friday. I knew everyone, I know someone in every pub. And outside, what was that Irish pub called? Wasn't Jimmy O'Neill's the other one?
Something O'Reilly's?
No, it was the other one. I can't remember what it was called, but basically
on Ackland Street?
Near Ackland Street, but basically a big Irish bar that I would have definitely known people at. And he stopped at the lights. He took out a CD case, put a line of gear on it, and sniffed a line of gear at the traffic lights.
This is the story that I remember.
Then he asked me if I wanted some. I was like, "No, I'm all right." And then, mate, I've never seen a guy paint faster in my life.
That's why he does it.
And then
he makes more.
Another time, we had to flip a bed down off, or flip a bed up onto the wall. And then when we flipped it back down after we painted round it, he looked at me and he was like, "Why are you so awkward? I'm not going to fuck you on it, am I?" And I never spoke to the guy ever. I never like made conversation with him.
To me, that screams, "I'm down to fuck you." Like,
yeah, I was freaked out after that.
Yeah.
That was when you smashed the person's door as well by mistake. I can't remember what I done. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that part.
Oh, I had like a broomstick or something, I can't remember. I was like brushing something. I turned around, it was glass. I can't remember what I done that, but there was like, you know, you get those doors that are like have like two glass pans.
Yep.
I smashed one of them.
Jesus Christ. So
he also didn't pay me for like 3 weeks.
That's probably why he didn't pay you.
Yeah,
because he probably had to pay for that.
I was so bad at everything.
He was, or you were?
I was.
Yeah.
Me.
See, when it comes to that sort of stuff, there's literally pensioners that are better than us at that. Like housework, like not even housework. What would you call that? Being handy, I suppose.
I'm only good at what we do.
Like changing a light bulb. Nope.
I got asked to change a light bulb in the pub and I smashed it.
Cutting grass.
Try to get the other one out.
No use.
In the pub that I was working in, they asked me to take a light bulb out the bathroom and change it. When I tried to get the light bulb out, I smashed it and like smashed it inside to the plug. Yeah. Instead of twisting it.
Rookie mistake.
Also, see with this podcast, right? So I'm also trying to give a bit of fitness advice at some points, right? So obviously we're gonna chat a lot of shit, but see at the end, I'm gonna get you to give advice on the sort of stuff that you're good at, because with food and stuff, I don't give any advice on it. I don't make any recipes and stuff, and I don't give any advice. What I also want to speak to you about is why over here? What's the main reason you're over here?
Well, we're over here to plan, aren't we? To hopefully put a few things in place for the second part of the year, I suppose. That's the main reason. Let's see how it goes over the course of the next few days. But yeah, we're over here for it. Obviously, this.
Give them a taste. Give them a wee taster of what we might do.
Of what we might do.
We might do, or we'll see what.
I don't. You seem to have a few more ideas than me, though. From what I've gathered from you, a co-community of some description. Obviously a couple of ebooks as well. Yeah. What have you kind of been thinking?
What I'm thinking, right? So as a personal trainer, now you're 3 years in, I'm over 2 years in. You get a lot of people saying that check-ins are like essential and stuff.
Yep.
And I've been doing them for 2 years, and now my analysis is you can't like skip them as in like that being like just skipping that part of the work.
Yeah.
But I think there's a better way to go around doing online coaching. And if I'm being perfectly honest, if I have to do check-ins for another year, it's another thing that might tempt me to jump in the Clyde.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
You mightn't be here.
Yeah. Because every single Monday, I absolutely dread doing them. And no matter what I've done to change them or split the days or anything, I just can't do them anymore.
Yeah, there has to be an easier way for us, or a more enjoyable way for us to do it. Like, don't get me wrong, initially it was great, but I don't know about you, but you just feel like you're kind of repeating yourself every single week, which is, it's not just monotonous for us, it's also a massive disservice to like the clients as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But what else are you meant to say? So maybe more of an interactive thing, I suppose, would be more what the avenue I suppose that we're looking to go down.
If you have a client that keeps doing the 2 workouts instead of 3, when you get to the 4th week, there's no value in you saying, oh, make sure we get 3 in this week.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any value in.
No.
I think if you spend more time maybe creating like a community, having Zoom calls where people can actually come on and feel like they're bouncing off other people.
Yeah. Troubleshooting form, things like that.
Yeah,
actual useful things.
Because online's different. Like, I don't have this issue with in-person clients because they're just kind of, I think you do that. I don't obviously have a full roster of in-person clients because I'm mostly online and a bit in-person. So I would say you do get this problem still with in-person if you've got a full roster. But like, they sort of just come in because they have to.
Yeah.
So they're forced to. Whereas like...
Completely different thing though. That's something that I didn't really understand when I first started. Like, I thought they're 2 very, very similar services, I suppose. Yeah. They're completely different. They're 2 completely different things, gym floor coaching and online coaching.
2 different skill sets.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like to try and manage people online, try to get the best of them out online is so different to in person.
Completely different, yeah. But obviously it's different as well. Like the normal model for like PTs and stuff is literally just see your client once a week. Obviously we don't do this or you don't do that, but see your client once a week and then you don't hear from them, till next week. And that is generally like 80% of gym floor coaching. Take a session, fuck off, see you next week. Obviously we don't do that. Whereas with online, it's more, it's more of a relationship, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, my in-person ones, I don't have anyone that comes in once a week. I probably wouldn't do that.
That's why I said it's obviously different for you.
I think that would be shit. I do try to treat my in-person ones like they have some of the online stuff, but I wouldn't, if they started WhatsApping me when I see them 3 times a week, I'd be like, get the fuck. I'm seeing you in like 12 hours. Don't fucking
leave me be.
You can ask me when you see me. But yeah, so I just feel like there's a much better way to set up online coaching. I feel like it's one of those things as well that that's how everyone's done it. Yeah.
Well, there's this real community push now, it seems, as well. Like, everybody's kind of bringing out these communities, which are pretty much just like a cheaper sell, I suppose, where, we thought about that, but we've both agreed that it would need to be something completely different, like nothing else that anybody else is kind of doing, you know what I mean?
Again, my stubbornness, I refuse to just do what everyone else is doing. Plus, I don't think you get the results where people paying cheaper prices were less
without the accountability, pretty much, essentially.
Because literally, they're just charging you less to take on more and to not give
it's a scale thing. You get less quality for a cheaper price.
Yeah, like
but they
James
can
Smith, you're never going to talk to James Smith.
Nah,
obviously he's doing it at a high scale. I think other people maybe I think I've seen Darren do his mate
Zoom
Darren,
calls once a week or every 2 weeks,
and
or
it looks
whatever.
as if he probably gets to at least speak to them.
Yeah,
sometimes. But I want to still help people on a one-on-one basis, but just have something that helps. Because this is what I was going to say. This is why I want it to be like a big proper community, even if it's still one-on-one coaching and even if it's our 2 together.
Yeah.
Because we can't be 100% all the time. That's what I've learned. The biggest thing I've learned about business over the last 2 years is that I'm just not going to be firing on all cylinders 7 days a week.
But I've been saying this to you for like so early when we started this is, you were always like, I'm okay with working by myself. And I was like, I'm not. I need a team. I need people to work with. And it's not, it's because of what you just said. You know what I mean?
But that's why I went in person, whereas you still completely isolate yourself.
Like, do you ever get, you obviously remember being in a foul mood going into working your fucking hotel job or whatever. You're in a terrible mood going in, but as soon as you had a conversation with someone that was like relatively funny, like one of your colleagues, you were grand. You were sweet for the rest of the day. You don't really get that with us unless we get it off each other, which is sometimes, but it's obviously not all, it's not all the time.
Yeah.
So that's the big struggle, and it's obviously hard to get out of that when you're in that sort of form. Working on your own completely, like we've said this before, we absolutely love what we do, but working on your own completely all the time is like, it can be very, not even lonely, I would say, probably more like draining. Draining would probably be a good word.
Draining.
Yeah.
So now I'm working, so I do about between 5 to 10 hours in person a week, and see, even when I come home after that, I even have an hour nap sometimes. I still reckon I get more online work done now that I'm doing that than I was when I was fully online, because there'd be times when I would sit for 5 hours and try open my WhatsApp or like try get back to clients.
Yep.
And I would just be sitting there with a fucking dread, because I knew it was just 8 hours of me sitting in my room fucking talking to people over online. I think, do you know what I think? I think online is fully online PT is as this dream. You see the guys in Dubai and all that going, we can make you to make 5 figures and it's going to be the dream. I'm not complaining about the job at all, which I am, but at the same time, I'm not. But it's not, I don't think that's the dream. And I'm not saying it as in like to put people off, but I've much preferred my life when I've had in-person PT alongside it.
Yeah. See, I would be a wee slightly different toward, but then again, we talked about what I was doing when I was coaching on the gym floor.
Yeah.
Like it was too much for me. I was coaching 4 sessions in the morning and 4 sessions at night. So it's obviously different to what you're doing now. So, but I don't even think we know ourselves what we kind of want that whole community based thing to be. We just know we want it to be kind of different. Yeah. And it's just an idea.
So we're just putting out there, to be honest, and we're gonna spend the next day going through things. It's not something that we're gonna like do a launch about or anytime soon, but it's just more that we're looking at creating some sort of community where it's still one-on-one coaching. It's still everything we offer just now, because we don't do big communities. We do WhatsApp one-on-one communication. Yep. We go through people's forms and stuff like that, where we just look at combining our community. So basically getting our clients all in the one community group, doing like 2 Zoom calls a week. And
which are great, by the way.
Yeah, maybe having a theme on them, maybe doing form videos one time, then and we done a quiz one time, which was really good. And then when we used to do that, I used to know who all your clients were. You used to know who all mine were, and everyone sort of, there was a good little
community. Great, yeah. It was really, really good. I think, like you said, just having you there, it's just, it makes it, we're fucking, there's nothing formal about us anyway, but it just makes it even more fun and less formal, which was great. So
it means you're a lot less serious, and also it means that you get a little pick me up, because that's what I mean. When I was doing the Zoom calls on my own, there'd be a day where like I really, really can't be fucked. Yeah, I cannot be in the slightest bit fucked. Yeah, but then if you were there as well, you could just say something to me and it'd be fine.
Yeah, you're grand. Yeah,
it's just like you said, a bit like in work. Right. How do you feel about short form content just now? Like, how do you feel with making it all the time, and where do you see social media going in terms of like what you're going to be posting?
Jesus Christ. For me personally, I think I'm actually really enjoying like my type of content right now with the recipes and stuff. It's actually what part of this job that I really enjoy is actually making the food and trying to make them quite interesting and doable and things like that. For me, it's probably just it's about continuing to put out those meals that are fucking class for fat loss, keeping putting those out, and hopefully launching a little bit of a book pretty soon.
Do you think you'll just keep doing?
I think it'll be, obviously if you watch, we say this all the time, right? But if you watch our content 3 months ago, it's massively different now, and look, it'll keep going like that. For me personally, it's about maybe differentiate myself a wee bit now moving forward. So I think in the next month or whatever.
3 tips for fat loss?
Well, obviously one of those a week, just to keep the people, keep giving the
people
what they want. Probably buying a decent camera, I think, just because every Tom, Dick and Harry is literally just using a half decent iPhone now, and there's fuck all wrong with that. There really isn't. Yeah. But it's just about doing something a wee bit more cinematic and a wee bit different. So yeah, keeping doing what I'm doing. I think probably make it a wee bit shorter as well. Something like that. But yeah, keep going along.
Get a short form content shorter.
Shorter, even shorter.
How long are they going to be? 4
20,
seconds?
25 seconds, something like that. Like something similar to what I've been doing recently, where I just say something fucking stupid at the start of it, and then I don't even speak through the recipe. It's just me like fucking chopping a bit of parsley and fucking it into the curry, and then I don't know, pulling like a funny face or something like that.
What advice would you actually give to someone
it's so hard?
See someone that's new, like, and they're gonna see all the same sort of TikToks.
Yep.
How would you go about trying to get them to differentiate themselves and stand out from
it's
that
so difficult.
crowd?
If you remember when we first started, this is why I don't necessarily blame them, because it's not their fault. They don't have a fucking clue what they're doing.
Do you remember your first big video?
Mate, it was terrible. You actually helped me through it. It's so bad. You can't really get... The only advice that I would give someone at the start is just keep doing it. Keep trying to plow out content 5 times a week, 7 times a week, whatever, and just refine. Like, you don't even need to try and refine it. Just by the actual process of making a new bit of content every day, you're going to get better at it. Yeah. So I wouldn't, in terms of differentiating themselves, like, you don't even really need to try and do that. Just like watch our videos, try and get a bit of inspo. Obviously, don't fucking copy it word for word like some people. But watch our content, get a bit of inspiration, and just keep plowing it out. Just say, right, I'm going to do this for 2 years and I'm going to see where it goes. That's what we did. We just said we're going to do this for 2 years, see how it goes.
I always said that I was like dead lucky when I started. Like, there was so much luck involved.
What do you mean?
Because I'd already done social media and stuff. Sure, when you started, you were asking me questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like you
already had that skill developed, whereas I didn't. I was still fucking writing posts and putting my clear coaching badge on.
That's funny, actually. I think I was talking to Cuba about this. When you first started, when you were putting, so basically, if anyone's starting PTing, see your logo or your brand that is nothing to do with like you, nobody gives a single fuck.
Nobody gives a shit.
No one cares about like your little badge or something fitness or the logo or you wearing a top with your name on it.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Literally no one gives a fuck. We all do it, by the way. Like I've literally got a website name called Get Fitness Right. GetFitnessRight.com. I thought that was just the thing, like, oh, people are get fitness wrong, so they'll obviously will get it right.
And you're so emotionally invested in it initially as well, aren't you? Like, you're actually thinking like you're going to take over the world with this thing.
I thought I was going to fix everyone. See, because my first client, Tom, got the best result I've ever got someone, I thought I was obviously the best coach that's ever going to exist.
This brand is going to fucking transform the world. It's the new Nike.
But what you used to do is you actually you had a yellow clear coaching thing, that yours was called clear coaching, big yellow thing with a big black C in it, and he just used to basically watermark his videos.
Everything.
Big
not even thing. A video, sometimes like a photo of me, like training, doing a tricep push down in the gym. Just a big yellow. Oh,
it's so funny. And when I first started doing all right on TikTok, you were then making TikToks, and you used to put one up like every day, and it would always have that badge on it. And I remember I used to WhatsApp you every day saying, take off the watermark. You
used to say that to me, and I can remember thinking, he doesn't know what he's talking about. The watermark stays. I said to Bobby, what do you think? Watermark, is that all right? Is the badge all right in the corner? She'd be like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
but now in hindsight, she probably just doesn't know any better, or gives a fuck because maybe Desperate Housewives was on or something and she was trying to watch that.
She couldn't care less.
Bobby's good at that. Bobby is like, I'm terrible at that. See, if I'm doing something and Bobby tries to come and show me something that she's doing, I'd be like, please fuck off. Like, I wouldn't say that, but I would be thinking it. Yeah. Whereas Bobby could be in the middle of marking like 100 papers or whatever, and I'd be like, look at this. Like, do you think this is a good video? And she'll watch it for 10 minutes. I don't understand how she does it, because I am too self-absorbed to be good at that sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
I think you got a little bit hurt when I used to say it. I could tell by you were like so reluctant to do it, but I knew it was gonna be a massive game changer for you. So that's why I was like, I don't care if I'm hurting his feelings. I'm gonna make sure he eventually stops putting that stupid thing on his videos.
DM me the word big cock.
I remember
big cocks. Every single post, remember? We could actually talk more about these sort of cunts, I suppose.
The DM,
like, they're worse. For me, that is so much worse than like any kind of, because at least if you're trying to design a TikTok or a reel or whatever, you're already differentiating yourself massively from the cunts that are just writing like a motivational mindset-y post and then just putting at the bottom, DM me the word.
Let me tell you this first.
Ball bag.
See your first TikToks, my dad used to watch them, and you were obsessed with this caveman analogy.
I can't even remember which one you're talking about.
There were so many. Everything you talked about was to do with
cavemen.
What did they eat back in the caveman days? They didn't cut out.
I can remember making a video about cavemen. Yeah.
And my dad used to watch it. This is in the middle of peak lockdown. He'd just look at me and go, "There's your Michael on about cavemen again." He loves them cavemen, doesn't he, or Michael? He'd be sitting in his boxers, and then he'd start freaking out because he'd lost all his money in crypto. He spent most of his time watching me or your TikToks and losing all his money in crypto.
Well, I'm glad we give him a wee bit of joy in amongst all that heartache.
Made a wee piss take of the DM me the word thing the other day.
Seen that, yeah. That was good. Out your back, wasn't it?
Out my back garden, yeah.
So I watch your stories, unlike you.
Sorry, mate,
watching me.
I don't have time for that.
Too busy.
Just mute everyone.
Too busy, mate.
We'll end up getting caught up.
Too busy, are you?
Fuck off.
Yeah. Tired of business.
Fuck off. With the DM me thing, I wonder when that's going to stop. Because I've listened to a lot of podcasts of other people talking about business gurus, and it seems to be that's been going on for years, and I don't think it's going to stop.
Because we're in the loop.
When I done that video, I was taking the piss. I said DM me though. I was like, I'm looking for 5 females, because that's what they always say, and it's always guys. I'm looking for 5 females that are committed, and I went DM me the word, and I honestly couldn't think of one.
It's always 5,
Yeah,
5.
I couldn't think of one, so I said accomplish. Mate, I had 5 message requests saying accomplish, and I don't know. I don't know if they were taking the piss, but genuinely do have 5. And
coaching inquiries, mate.
I might
get them signed up.
Them on.
It works.
Be like $4,000, 12 weeks.
Yeah, it'll never go away, because the only reason that we're so aware of all this stuff is because we're in it. We're seeing it all the time. It's in our faces all the time. Bobby or anybody else doesn't. They don't see all this. It's not in their face all the time. So it actually is a good tactic, because what's the word? With the I'm looking for 2 people, it creates scarcity. With it gives you direction as well.
Not if you do it all the time.
People do it on every single post. Every single post has a call to action. Yeah. That just screams to me, I'm not doing very well. Please help me.
I'm terrible at my job, and I'm desperate for clients because I'm getting.
And even written posts now, even when I see coaches now, just strictly doing written posts, you're like, mate, that ship sailed about fucking 18 months ago. Put yourself on a fucking camera.
Instagram don't push photo content.
No, if I upload a photo of me and you today, which I probably will, it'll get 400 likes compared to maybe a reel getting 2,000 or whatever, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's mad. It's also, I think that's also the downfall of short form content as well, is that you just don't quite have the engagement that you would if you done
it's not the same. Yeah,
YouTube podcast, or even influencers back in the day that was all just posting pictures in places. Even they had more engagement.
And now you're getting noticed now when you check into hotels and all.
I didn't want you to bring that up. I actually cringe talking about any of this sort of thing, because it happened to you last time.
Getting noticed, mate.
I done it to you last time, mine, but yours was funnier last time.
No, yours was the best one ever there.
I forgot
Go
what
ahead.
you said. No,
so
I'm not explaining this.
We just checked into our hotel, and the receptionist took one look at Gavin and said, "You're that guy. You're that guy. The influencer, the bodybuilder."
And I showed her my triceps. I went like that. Yep, that's me.
And I didn't want to laugh because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I didn't want to laugh when she said bodybuilder, so I just kind of looked at you like, how's he gonna play this?
I didn't play it very well at all.
No.
Started flexing. I didn't know what to say to her.
That's pretty cool though, that she called you a bodybuilder.
Well, at least the bulk must have went all right.
It's worked.
Because I wouldn't have got called a bodybuilder a year ago.
90 kg.
I still get called skinny every single day on social media.
Maybe go up to 95 now.
I'll just go up to 100. I'll go up to 100.
Imagine what calories would you need to be on to go to 100?
5,000-6,000.
Oh, that's horrific.
I'm going to do it over the next 2 years. Right, anyway, we're going to take a little break, right? And then we're kind of going back to it. So you may have noticed that I've been wearing this brand unadorned quite a lot. Now, I don't do any sponsored posts. I'm not getting paid for this at all. If you would take a look at Michael's hoodie as well, how nice is that? That's an absolute screamer, isn't it? So I'm not saying that you have to buy anything. I don't make any money. I've got no discount codes for you, but fucking stuttered a belter there, didn't I?
Codes.
Discount codes. But I guarantee if you follow them on Instagram, you will buy something from them over the next 2 years because it's absolutely
nice
sick.
stuff.
It's good stuff, isn't it? Right, you were asking me when was the last time I shaved, or Paul was asking me when the last time I shaved. I was traveling Europe because I've been about, Michael.
You've seen some places.
Seen some places. I've been everywhere. I was in Krakow with my mate Jamie, and we were going out that night. Did you hear a ringing sound?
No.
Sometimes that happens to me. I just get a random ringing sound in my ear. Happens once every 2 years. It's happening right now. And we were
Want to stop or
still there. We were going out that night, and I clean shaved and walked out the bathroom. Like Kaylin was actually there as well, and we were maybe like 6 beers down. Came out. Jamie looked at me and just looked at me dead in the eye and went, "Never, ever, ever do that again." And I haven't. That was when I was 20, 7 years ago. I've never clean shaved again.
What age were you when you were able to kind of get some sort of facial hair going on?
No, I could have done it then.
Yeah. Well, what about like 18, 17? Not really, no.
Not 16, 17. No. Look like yours at 16, 17.
Bit of bomb fluff.
Yeah.
Good though.
So I'm never ever doing it again. I heard you when I was in the bathroom saying that I kind of went quite short.
Recently, like what, 2 or 3 months ago?
Wow, I looked like a caveman for a while, didn't I?
But you went too short though, didn't you? Maybe did you pick the wrong? By mistake?
Wrong one.
Yeah.
Too late when you shave up like that.
It was a bit like mine. It was like quite short.
Yeah, it looked horrendous.
Yeah.
That was a bad week. Bad week of my life until I got this.
We've said this loads, but you know, if you get a bad haircut or you know you fuck up your beard in any way, I don't know if we're just unique, but it definitely like ruins a good 1 or 2 days, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
like a
haircut.
bad haircut or whatever.
Haircut will kill you. Like I remember before I went to
ruins
Croatia,
your flow.
Before I went to Croatia, I went to a Turkish barber's near mine. I think they're called like Chico's or something.
Turned you into Alfredo Morales, did he? Shaved you right up to the top of your head.
I gave him directions. I said, don't, like halfway up my head, don't shave past that. Instantly, he went above my head and shaved down the way. And just gave me like a pineapple.
Sounds a bit like our haircut.
Oh yeah, with the... Right, I'm just going to say, never get your hair cut off.
We've said this before, and this is not racist, or at least it's not intentionally racist.
Iranians can't
There's
cut
at least 5 nationalities that you should never let cut your hair.
Iran's one.
Iran.
A guy butchered me in London. I think he was somewhere around that. Maybe
Iraqi
or something.
Let's say.
Is Armenia near there?
Georgian.
It's one of those, just not Turkish anyway.
I've heard getting a cut in Turkey's good, but if they're over here, it's usually horrific.
He halfway through it, he asked me if I liked women, and then just started showing me pictures of like girls he's seen, and I was like,
"This was the Turkish one here before you went to Croatia."
Here, this was in London. I got butchered when I first went to London.
Took you a while to get a good haircut in London, didn't it?
4 or 5. I always get a few if I move to a new city. I always get a few butchers first. I always mistake the
took us about 3 or 4 in Australia, didn't it?
Yeah, the first one was awful.
First one was horrific. It took about 3 weeks to grow back. Second one didn't cut it short enough for me, and then we found Mr. Greg. Then that was us sorted.
Greg became one of my best mates.
Nice guy,
lovely fella. I still watch all his stories and talk to him. That first one we got was so brutal because I actually had to watch you get absolutely butchered, and then I didn't have the guts to tell him that I didn't want him to cut mine.
And that's so unlike you. Like you're not that type. Like you're the sort of person who would just be like, nah, it's not happening. Like
I would know.
Whereas I'm the sort of person that will watch you get butchered and then jump in the chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's not like you at all.
I think I felt so bad for you that I was just like, I'm gonna have to.
No, you can feel. You can kind of like when someone's fading your hair, you don't even necessarily need to see what's going on. You can almost feel how high they've they've brought it up, and I just knew after about the first 2 or 3 minutes that it was bad news. Like you said, they have this fucking obsession with starting high and going low.
Scissor happy, I call
like, it. Start low.
Yeah.
Sort this bit out first.
Right. With yourself in as well, what I wanted to ask you is, I've genuinely had messages of women saying, I'm 50. They always like to give me a full description of themselves. Like, I'm 54.
And a half.
I'm 5'4". I weigh this amount. I can't cook. Can you help me? What's your advice for some? And I'm not gonna ask your specific advice for that person, because I think if you're 54 and you can't cook more than toast, that's pretty fucked. That's a long time to be on the earth without knowing how to cook anything.
I actually get like people messaging me being like, "How's it going, Mitch? This is like a direct quote. I'm a fat bastard. Can't cook. Get gym anxiety." You know, just like being really rude about themselves almost, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you want, like, I don't know how to help you. You don't need me. You need a psychologist to fix your relationship with your fucking self first. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can say here that's going to have you still doing this 3 years from now. So like, what do you actually say? You know
I don't get much of those messages anymore. But the one with the woman that told me she was like 50, 58 and she can't cook anything at all.
And that's not even us being rude either. It's just like, what do you want? What do you want us to say there? Maybe we should just give them a bit of like easy to action advice. I've had people, like, you've had this as well, like people apply for coaching and they're just like, you're like, what's your biggest reason for reaching out? And they're just like, I'm a fat bastard. And they're being dead serious. It's like, I'm a fat bastard.
I don't get back to anyone like that, because
me neither.
I've nothing. I don't know what to say to them, because I can't. I don't think I can help them. I don't get back to people. I don't.
It might just be like humor or whatever. But and if someone said that to me like face to face, I would laugh. But when it comes on like a coaching application form, it's just a complete put off straight away.
What's your reason for reaching out? Fat,
big person. Yeah, like what? I don't. You know.
What would your advice be for helping someone not to be able to learn how to cook from scratch, but a lot of your recipes and a lot of recipes in general
really confusing?
Not just confusing, but people aren't going to make them all the time.
No, can't be asked.
So what would your practical advice be for someone who's wanting to make meals that are a bit better, not just to make the same stuff, but also be time efficient?
Yeah. You know what I would say? I would say if you're starting off all this, you don't like, it's very easy to watch all these videos that we make and think that you need to make all these things to be healthy.
I don't make
You fucking don't need to even go near that initially. Like, you can simplify that so much. Like, you know, one thing we always talk about is trying to have the same shit every single day. Now, that doesn't need to mean like be a bodybuilder and just eat the same fucking crap every single day, but pick one meal. Do that consistently for like 2 months. Find something that actually works for you. You know, you can keep me right here, but 50 or 60% of your nutrition should be simple and something that you're able to do for like 2, 3, 4, 5 months. You know what I mean? Like, I know obviously I make recipes like I'll try and make a recipe every single day and it'll change. But see, before that, if I'm cutting, it's a salad for breakfast, a tuna salad or a chicken salad for breakfast, and a protein smoothie for lunch. And maybe like, I don't know, like a packet of fucking baked cheese and onion crisps in there somewhere as well.
Yeah.
And I'll do that every single day for like 4 or 5, like just for the duration of the cut. So I think like when you watch my content, Sean Casey's content, Aussie Rules content, you can kind of fall into this like narrative that you need to be changing it up all the time. You absolutely do fucking not need to be changing it up. Find one of those meals that works for you. And just, you know, don't be afraid to rinse and repeat that, as long as it meets the tenets of, you know, what you're trying to do with your calories. And of course, your protein. That's by far the most important thing.
You'd be the first person to admit as well, like a lot of the content is you're not always you're genuinely not thinking at all about.
Are you calling my recipe shit?
No, not shit, but like you wouldn't ever make that for yourself. You're trying to think of what would probably get you.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love cooking.
Some of them, no.
Even before I started all this, I would have been the sort, like if Bobby had come down to my house on a Saturday night, my thought would have been, we're going to make something like really, it wouldn't be on the level that I'm making now, but I'd be like, we're going to make something. Let's go to Tesco, spend 20 quid, buy a load of ingredients and throw it all together. 98% of people aren't like that.
For example, though, what gets more views on TikTok in terms of food? Like, what?
There's 3 things.
Yeah, go. Because this is what I mean. Like, so sometimes you're thinking about, right, I haven't made a video that's involved this in a while because that bangs. Because you do that, don't you?
Wraps with low-fat cream in them that you can squeeze into the camera.
So specific.
And so specific. Anything to do with chicken, just anything to do with chicken, and anything to do with like a burger or bread or anything like that. So like a low-calorie Mich burger, or I don't know, like a wholemeal club sandwich or something like that.
Why do you think that is? Is it anything that you can, because generally, when we're doing short form content, it's like hooks, and I don't understand food hooks because I don't care about food, so I don't really get any.
It's pretty self-explanatory. It just needs the look. Like, you're like, whoa, that's class. I would like to eat that.
But does the chicken always look good?
It depends what it's married up with, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It's all about with those food things. It's literally all about the first 3 or 4 seconds in terms of trying to present something that's like, really, really tasty. And even if that means turning up the saturation,
Sean fascinates me.
Just a wee bit.
Sean can put anything in the air fryer. 1,000,000 views.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It's mad. Anything he can literally just be like, here's.
I think that's just because he's cultivated such a strong audience now that it doesn't. He could put like a bit of cat shit battered in the air fryer, and it would get 15 million views. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're always bang.
Just he has a real loyal following now. I think.
Yeah, because he's the original.
Yeah,
with
the OG the OG from Northern Ireland.
With that accent, he's definitely like on TikTok. I can't remember anyone before, and then you were just slightly after.
Yeah.
Your first big video that was a carbon copy.
You say this. I've heard this story about 8 or 9 times. Big
Still
man
funny.
can't live it down.
Still funny. I just love the comments saying, "Is this the Scottish version?"
Yeah. What was it again? 3 tips if you're in a calorie deficit. Of course it was.
Oh, definitely.
Wasn't it?
It was how to stay full in a calorie deficit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were to give like free meals that people can do, what would it be?
Again, this is going to sound really stupid, but don't underestimate chicken and rice. I'm not even taking the piss, but don't underestimate how useful, how filling, how tasty you can actually make chicken and rice, and how voluminous you can make it as well. Put broccoli in there, you remember, I think that was probably the first ever meal that you made where you were like, you got a hard on for, remember, in Australia?
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it chicken and rice? You were like, Michael, look at that.
No, well. Was it? I think there was one time I realised that you could just put pasta sauce in stuff and it makes it better. So when I figured it out, that was a game changer for me.
That's how simple it can be. For someone that doesn't have a fucking clue what they're at. I think people look at like pasta sauces in Tesco and Asda and think they are bad for some reason. Whether it's all the preservatives and stuff in it or whatever else is in it, they just look at it and think I can't have that when I'm dieting because it's bad for me.
Yeah,
it's not. It's actually pretty calorie and macro friendly. What is it for like half a jar of Dalmayo? It's like Dalmino. Sorry, it's about 150.
You said that wrong both times.
Did it? What is it?
Dalmino.
Plays for Napoli, number 9. Alessandro Dalmino.
Do you know what it was? I genuinely had in my head that you had to make that up from scratch.
Nah, yeah, that's what most people think. Like, people will still comment on my videos now. If I use like a Dalmino sauce or whatever, people are like,
what is that? What is that attempt at
Dalmino? Dalmio. That's what I said the second time, wasn't it?
No. You've got a few words like that. You put a P before in content, you say contempt.
Contempt.
You always do
people
that.
Commented that on their, yeah.
There's another one that you do all the time as well that I used to bring you up
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, people look at that and think I need to make that from scratch because that whatever's in that sauce isn't healthy. It's very like calorie and macro friendly.
It's absolutely sound, yeah. And then the chicken and rice one. No, first time I made mashed potatoes, I didn't realize I was capable of doing that myself.
Yeah, and I tasted it and it was fucking stinking.
Oh, they were unreal.
Lumpy as anything.
And you could never make your chicken as good as me.
That's just not true.
You couldn't. The way I used to like get it in the oven.
We should have a chicken off then.
You actually asked me how I do it, and I had to show you one time.
I don't even remember this.
Yeah, every time
So
I
you must have been dreaming.
You used to go, "Oh, that's absolutely unreal."
I think it's because you used to you were so patient at chopping it up so small. You remember you used to do that, like so small. Whereas I can never be arsed doing that. Other meals, big fuck off smoothie. So like, you know, any sort of yogurt with a scoop of protein and frozen berries is a winner. Like so good. It's like 50 grams of protein, and you know, you'll hear tons of people saying don't drink your calories, but I actually think it's very filling. Like so filling. And then last meal would probably, for me personally, I always like to try, when I'm cutting especially, I always like to keep either one of carbs or fats very low for breakfast. Like I don't like the, especially carbs. I like to have like quite a protein heavy and potentially like moderate fat breakfast. So an omelet's pretty perfect for that. I just find carbs are fucking useless in the morning. Like why prioritize those at night, especially when you're dieting? Like you can get away with having like a 300 or 400 calorie breakfast that has like 40 or 50 grams of protein, and that's going to fill you up for the next 3 or 4 hours. Like I think like there's this narrative that we need to like eat carbs for breakfast, which is just not the case. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're eating them, if you eat them late at night, you're still going to be sound.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe that's where part of the reason where it comes from. It also probably comes from the fact that 80% of our mas used to feed us like fucking Rice Krispies going out to school in the morning, like big bowl of Rice Krispies and a round of toast and butter.
That was like one of my catchphrases when I first started, was that I had so many like things that I just literally like took the piss and just said them all the time. I used to say that I used to eat 2 bowls of 600 calorie bran flakes, which is true, but I just hammered that home. I used to have...
Fuck, God love your toilet, Jesus Christ, the night.
I don't even remember the consequences. There might have been. But I used to eat cereal for breakfast and supper. And I think that is like literally 80% of the reason why I was fat my full childhood.
Maybe.
And I always had a connotation that bran flakes were healthy.
Yeah. But see, like 8 out of 10 people now, see if you tried to walk out of your mum's house without eating breakfast in the morning, wherever you were going, you would get ridiculed. It'd be like, why are you doing that? It'd be like, you're going to fucking die. That literally there is a part of your ma would think that you're going to die.
Yeah.
Or your dad without being fucking...
It's ingrained into society, isn't it? There's a few like absolute myths that are still flown about.
I don't know. You're different to me, but I can wake up at 7 and not have food until maybe 12:30, and I'm grand. I'm fine. You're not like that, but I think it's only because you've did it almost your whole life. Like if you maybe just tried and pushed, this is not me trying to fucking sell you by any stretch of the imagination, but if you actually went through like a conscious effort of trying to push that back, I think you'd be grand. No. So what do?
I eat in the middle of the night.
That's habit though. That's like eating in the morning.
I've tried to stop for many times.
But you just wake up and like,
My dad comes down in the morning all the time. He goes, midnight feasting again, was it?
That is wild.
It's always a slice of bread.
I actually wake up feeling sick. I go to bed starving and I'll wake up feeling like quite sick in the morning. So it just goes to show you how many like individual differences there is from person to person.
And I tried to push my first meal back today because I'm cutting, and I was through like I had about 20 minutes left of my first session, and I was honestly sweating. I was that hungry.
Like, I don't really get like you. You seem to like get really fucking hungry when you're cutting, but you don't like food nearly as much as me. You know what I mean?
I like eating. I just don't care what it is as much as you. So I'm obsessed with food, but I just don't like care about what the food is as much.
You don't walk around Glasgow near wanking into the windows of restaurants.
Like you know more restaurants than me in Glasgow. You've been here twice. Like you know more names. You know what stuff is more than me. You know what.
You just couldn't care about stuff like that. Sure, you don't.
I just don't give a single fuck. Not one single fuck.
Yeah, but no, that would be my 3 meals, I would say.
What about, and then we'll wrap it up after this. We'll think about if you can give any practical tips for food on the go more. This would probably actually be something that I'm better at, but if you...
Food on the go? Like, I'm not much of a snacker. You're way more of a snacker than me. You mean like meal prep and stuff like that, or just anything?
For someone who's...
My protein do some fantastic products.
Fuck up.
So they do.
Literally fuck up. Unadorned, do great clothes.
My protein's great.
For people that don't have a lot of time.
Protein bars are great. One absolute game changer for me last year was ready-made meals, and people are gonna fucking crucify me for this. Ready-made meals from Asda. They do like these calorie-friendly, like 550 calories, like 3 for 650 or whatever it is, and they are class. They're so good.
Where's
like so, if you're
where?
I think Lidl, Asda, and Tesco all do a range now.
How did you hear that?
Lidl.
The fuck is that? Honestly, Lidl.
Yeah.
Sean does this as well. Lidl.
Oh
my god! Right, just move on. Right, what are we saying?
Yeah, those three.
Yeah, I heard him smirk as well. What the fuck is that?
Dolmino and Lidl. Yeah, those meals are class, especially if you can't be arsed meal prepping, going into work and things like that. Like most people, if you work long shifts or whatever, they're great. Those would probably be the two for me. Again, you don't need tons of examples, do you? You need 2 meals for each like massive meal that you have that you can kind of alternate between. You maybe need 4 or 5 snacks that you can swap in and out. Your nutrition really should be quite monotonous if you want to be successful with this sort of stuff.
Yeah, and I think I don't want to say it because this is just gonna play into people buying them out of the shop more, but those protein puddings are unreal.
They're class.
Please leave a few for me because every time you go in now they're just gone.
If I ever see one more cunt lifting 20, I'm literally gonna rugby tackle him.
I do buy 10 every time I'm there.
Like you literally just see some header like run about with like 30 of them and like a bean, I think a tin of beans on top of it as well, trying to balance it up to the checkout,
The Lidl at mine, the woman literally, I was asking her about them. She was like, see, as soon as they come in, there's people that come in and literally just take the trays and they're
like,
gone.
There's probably queues.
5 minutes
in the morning.
And they're all gone.
They're class. It really makes you think, what's all this going to be like 5 or 10 years from now in terms of like what's in the pipeline as far as like low calorie things are concerned, because it just gets easier and easier every single year.
The protein puddings are class. I think if you're really struggling to hit your protein intake and you're busy, just do what I do and just buy a fuck ton of protein yogurts.
Vanilla or the chocolate flavor?
Vanilla, I think. I thought it was chocolate, but then I tried the vanilla.
It's like
absolutely unreal.
It's like custard on steroids almost. It's class.
Yeah,
really good.
I wouldn't even be that keen on custard. It would be a bit too creamy for me, but they're unreal.
Yeah, so good.
Right, we'll wrap this up because we've got a big day of planning ahead. Every time I look at the goop, it fucking puts me off. Anyway.
The goop,
my bird. Where can people find you?
On Instagram, I think it's Mich Food and Fitness, Mich_Food and Fitness, and TikTok's the same, I think. And they're
Why are you looking at me?
I think so. And they're the two. I'm also posting on Facebook as well at the minute, which is just Michael Neely, which is my actual name, Michael. And that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Cool. And then you'll soon hear from us that we may be doing a co-coaching thing, some sort of community, and we'll be posting about that quite a lot.
Keep your eyes.
Right, catch you in a bit.